welcome to today's broadcast of A View from the Nest. I'm your eye in the sky, Alan Scott, traveling across the cyberscape from high atop my perch at WNGS Studios, bringing you today's news and commentary from a conservative Christian viewpoint. You may wish to visit us on the web at www.eagleviews.org or follow us on Twitter at Eagle's Nest. Hi folks, Al Scott here, keeping a sharp eagle eye focused on current events, ever vigilant and standing ready to fight for faith, family, and freedom. A true moderate who believes that moderation is the key to freedom. No golden microphone here, just the values of the golden rule. And this is the way I see it.
It's not easy being green, having to spend each day the color of the leaves, when I think it might be nicer being red or yellow or gold or something much more colorful like that. When green is all there is to be, it could make you wonder why. But why wonder? Why wonder? I'm green, and it'll do fine. It's beautiful, and I think it's what I want to be.
According to Don Laird, a local Pittsburgh psychotherapist, eco-psychology refers to the motivation people have for making environmentally friendly or green choices. Going green isn't just about using cloth bags instead of plastic ones or biking to work instead of driving. There is psychology that links us to a green lifestyle. And here I thought the greenies were just crazy. Apparently, Kermit the Frog is not alone in his green thinking. There's a whole psychology or a whole division of eco-psychology. Proverbs 23 tells us, "For as a man thinks in the heart, so he is." Therefore, I'm not surprised to find that there's a field of study for eco-psychology. For as a man thinks, so he is. So if he thinks he's green, I guess he's green. And here I thought Martians were the only green people in the world. But this article gave me a few chuckles on an otherwise dull Monday. The number one reason to go green, according to this report, was to save money. I quote from the report, "In spite of efforts to promote awareness, most people are going to follow their wallet over their conscience. If individuals see that they can save money by making environmentally friendly choices, they are more likely to be motivated to make such choices. Hybrid vehicles were not popular sellers." Well, they're still not popular sellers when they first appeared on the market. However, the prices are now comparable with traditional cars, and they are still tax advantages for purchasing a hybrid. While having shopped for green products myself, I have yet to find them to be cheaper than their non-earth-friendly counterparts. Everything labeled green or organic costs far more than regular merchandise. The writer cites hybrid vehicles, which are priced higher than the non-hybrid models. The new green cars, like the Chevy Volt, are very expensive and are not selling very well, even with the tax subsidies given to entice buyers. With so few of these products being sold and the higher cost of acquisition, the financial reason to purchase these items makes really no sense. Besides, with so few green products actually being sold, how much of a positive environmental impact are these green thinkers actually making? This is like tossing pebbles into the ocean as an attempt to lower the sea levels. Perhaps the writer of this article is actually onto something. Green thinking is a psychosis. Continuing on, their number two reason for thinking green is an emotional impact. Think puppies or kittens, love songs, romantic movies. We are emotional creatures and react to certain themes and symbols accordingly. An image of toddlers at play will elicit a certain emotional response, while an image of a violent mob will spark a completely different emotion. Accordingly, if going green is experienced or internalized as helping the planet, making it a better place, people will tend to be more receptive to environmentally friendly concepts. If we see the planet as sick or hurting, we are more likely to empathize and thus more likely to help. Well, this reason actually makes the most sense in this entire article. The person who participates in a green economy feels good about their participation, regardless of the actual results or effectiveness of their participation. It matters not if the green movement is actually effective at stemming the environmental havoc. It only matters that they care and they feel like they are doing something to help heal the planet. That's not bad enough. Number 3 says, responsibility is a reason for green thinking. With great power comes great responsibility, according to the writer of this article. So the saying goes, we all have an inherent need to be part of something larger than ourselves, contributing to something that will ripple to future generations. In short, we have an innate need to leave behind a legacy. Being responsible for living an environmentally friendly lifestyle is essential to future generations. By learning and teaching the use of green methods, it is possible to move society in a direction where we all are responsible for our actions. Fostering the concept of our being stewards of the earth promotes cooperation and a better understanding of our limited time to make a difference. Now, I have lived long enough to remember the days before there were massive landfills in most communities. I also remember the time when bulk foods was the norm and not the exception. I remember the days before most items were sold in a blister pack. We used to burn our trash in the backyard in a burn barrel, avoiding the flood of plastic bags to the landfill. Most of the waste products produced when I was a child could either be burnt in the burn barrel or buried in the garden. We used paper and did not have plastic bags to carry home the groceries. These brown paper bags were reused around the house or carried back to the grocery store and refilled with more groceries to be carried back home. I remember every year using many of these same brown paper bags to cover my school books each season. But one day, these brown paper bags were no longer being used in grocery stores because the environmentalists wanted to save the trees. Now they want to save the ocean from the plastic bags they wanted us to use instead of the brown paper bags we all loved. And those burn barrels that dotted the suburbs, they have all but disappeared as well, because burning paper was considered an environmental hazard. Yes, I can see how this green thinking is a psychosis. But, according to the article, it promotes health. Forget politics for a moment. Climate change is happening whether or not you choose to believe it is being accelerated by humans. The planet is warming at an alarming rate. Air and water quality are diminishing rapidly. Disease and pestilence are rampant. Now, non-green practices will continue to exacerbate these problems, and maintaining our health will become more difficult. A green lifestyle is not the only solution to these issues, but they promote wellness and ultimately become part of a solution. And here I thought overeating was a greater threat to our health. Who knew that non-green practices was adding to our health issues? You know, the more I think about this, I am becoming convinced green thinking is indeed a psychotic condition. And last but not least, the author of this piece offers us hope for the future by going green. Living a lifestyle of apathy and indulgence is irresponsible, the author writes, and leads to non-sustainability of the planet. A consumer-driven society that does consider the planet it is leaving behind for future generations is at best hopeless. So maybe your individual choice of cloth and paper bags over plastic may not save the world, but it won't hurt it either. Going green doesn't mean having to make drastic changes. It means making informed choices. As humans, we embrace choice. We need it to survive. Going green promotes choice and helps provide a connection with our neighbors and the world at large. Well, the last time I did research on the effects of a vibrant economy, I noticed something strange. The greater prosperity enjoyed by a society, the greater the overall lifestyle was achieved. And the freer the society, the better the society. The biggest offenders to the health of the planet were those societies who were run by dictatorial leaders and had the highest amount of human rights violations. It would appear to me that the best way to improve one's lifestyle and promote good earth policies would be to promote the Christian values of individual freedom and individual human rights. The gospel of Jesus Christ is the only teaching I know of that brings personal hope and freedom. It was this belief in God-given rights that has made America the cleanest, the healthiest, and the most environmentally friendly nation on earth. Well, at least it used to be, until the environmentalists decided to change all that. I am all for smart economies, but I get a huge chuckle out of the whole Green Earth movement since it is mostly being promoted by those who are the biggest offenders of environmental crimes. The United States of America, I would argue, has the cleanest environment on the planet, and since there are billions of people living elsewhere, no matter how much effort we make to clean up our environment, unless these other non-green societies stop their polluting, ours is like that pebble tossed into the ocean. Granted, it is a pretty huge pebble, but it is still a pebble in comparison. Now that's the way I see it. What say you?
It's not easy being green, having to spend each day the color of the leaves, when I think it might be nicer being red or yellow or gold or something much more colorful like that. When green is all there is to be, it could make you wonder why. But why wonder? Why wonder? I'm green, it'll do fine. It's beautiful, and I think it's what I want to be.
This has been A View from the Nest. Thank you for stopping by. If you'd like to visit us, surf on over to www.eagleviews.org or like us on Twitter @EaglesNest. Until next time, this is Alan Scott. Good day. This has been A View from the Nest. The statements, comments, or opinions expressed are solely that of the author and do not represent the views or opinions of this site or any affiliates thereof. Any questions or comments should be directed to myself and not to the host or hosts of this site.